Alright YouTube, how's it going? Stardust Accelerator here, with current meta shifts and analysis from the recent YCS Barcelona. So basically, I'm going to be starting this segment to get into the meat of the top 32s of YCS's, not just by getting the deck list, but, going into reasons why decks at top and certain techs and deck shifts, like what becomes meta. Um, yeah, current meta techs and other things. So let's start off with discussing the top 32. There was 13 windups, 6 Mermaid Atlanteans, 5 Dino-Rabbit, 4 Agents, 3 Insectors, and 1 Chain Burn. So obviously looking at these statistics, windups did overall top the most consistently and took up almost half of the top 32 spots. The biggest factor to this is the explosive first turn shock lock play, and its ability to take the game into a slow grinding state and wait out their opponent's resources and then go into bigger plays from there. And also, as I mentioned before, it's also due in part to the declination of hand traps. Against wind-up Mermaid, Atlanteans, and Dino-Rabbit, Effect Failure just basically does 0 to nothing, except stop you from outright losing the game that turn. These decks are playing more and more traps, so it's harder to get over Veiled Ravagers and Mighties. They'll just activate them next turn, unless you've got the Heavy Storm. Mermaid Atlanteans, they were, of course, another non-shocking top, doing the second best with less than half of the tops of windups. They had 6. By the cold hard facts, you can see that they're not going anywhere, as they are a tried and true strategy. They placed second in their debut YCS and its sophomore return. They dominantly are showing that it's one of the decks to beat right now. The deck was probably the most thought about matchup out of all the listed in the top 32, which is clear due to the return of Macro Rabbit into the format, and its defeat in the finals to it. Again, they lost in the finals. Now the big question we see from this is, will we see it win the next event? I honestly don't believe so. I'm not saying it's not a bad choice going into the deck. I mean, it's a really good choice. It's a good deck. It gets rid of stuff. But with the Fire King deck soon to be released, Macro Rabbit will become more and more prevalent in the format. One of this deck's hardest matchups, as Macro Rabbit takes down both of these decks with ease game 1. So next is, Dino-Rabbit, really. Now, I don't know how many Macro Rabbits specifically topped, but we do know it did end up winning the event, giving it a firm place in the format moving forward now. So I think it's safe to assume that that basically the most dominant variant of this deck is going to be the macro version. The deck is able to grind out over the Merlantian smaller monsters like Genix Undyne and everything, get off Glyba plays and make Zolkas and completely shut down the deck. It's great against the Agent Mermail and Insector matchup, just because of Macrocosmos, just because of the 1 card. And if the deck happens to open slow at any point, it can just set Spirit Reapers now and change the tempo of the game and wait out until they can make their plays and make their Logias and minus you in the middle of the game where it might be harder to come back. Yeah, it can do these things now without the use of power cards, Tour Guide, and Rabbit. It just stalls with the Spirit Reaper. Next up is Agents, which are still doing well, but they're slowly losing their momentum, as it lost some of its top spots from Seattle to Barcelona. This is most likely due to the fact because of the increase of Macro Rabbit and Insectors. Insectors are able to blow up their boss monsters they put on board, and they can even main in Dimensional Prisons from the side deck, or Dimensional Fissures, excuse me, and make sure they don't come back and banish them from the beginning of the game. So we see Insectors doing well now. Ever since it won at Seattle, more and more people are playing it. So yeah, that's basically really it. They're just doing better now because more and more people are playing them, and no one's playing hand traps, no one's playing effect failure to get over this. I mean, people are still siding it to just in case for the rogue matchups, but for the most part, no one's going to main it against just for this deck. Finally, I have Chain Burn. I'm not going to talk much about that. It's basically all I can say is that you need to go in prepared to each event for rogue decks, trying to ruin your day. Basically, this top 32 was made up of decks everyone expected to do well. All the decks with enough popularity to break out from the rogue decks. A card seeing rise and play during, and at least should be after the event, is Fiendish Chain. It's able to stop plays and effects, and it's versatile against virtually all the matchups that basically just topped, or that you expect at any YCS or regional you might be going to. It has great utility and versatility, and it's evident because the winner main 2 copies. It's way better than Effect Veiler. You know, you can get over Trags and stuff with it, and you can't do that with Veiler. You have to Veiler, and then they just won't attack. So it's an all-around good card. Stops plays, stops attacks, stops Mermails from OTKing you and stuff. So it's an all-around good card just going into any matchup. So it's really good to side, and some people are finding it really great maining. Now going into the next Premier level event, whenever that may be, we can all expect these decks to do well and to the top to look something like this. But going by the carousel wins of different decks at every YCS, it's very possible that some rogue strategy that we've thought was dead is gonna come back and do some stuff. So comment down below on any meta or tech trends I may have missed from Barcelona. Also comment on what types of videos you want to see in this channel. I still need to figure out what else I want to do with this channel. I need people to tell me what they want. So I know, like, rate, and hit the subscribe button up there for more Yu-Gi-Oh! And as always, YouTube, thanks for watching.